The number right now, to a best approximation, is that there's potentially up to or around 100 structures, 100 homes that have been lost due to the Kingston fire.
The fire has now grown to more than 8,000 hectares, and it's still out of control. There hasn't been much change in the Paddy's Pond fire burning just outside of St. John's. It's now just over 300 hectares in size. And also this morning we learned police arrested a man for allegedly intentionally setting a number of brush fires in St. John's on Wednesday.
Suspect that one person is responsible for multiple fires in this case.
A 20-year-old man who lives in the downtown area is due to appear in court today. He's facing arson charges. All right, let's go to CTV's Scott Hurst now. He's got more on the latest wildfire situation. Scott, the country's bookended by fires, the east and the west in flames. What's the latest?
Marcia, there's no doubt it has been an incredibly challenging year, particularly in Newfoundland and Labrador, and we've been hearing that for the past several days and weeks as they've been battling these out-of-control wildfires. According to the Premier, hopefully today they're expecting that the Mother Nature could provide some relief, which could allow crews to gain some ground on these wildfires. But you heard a troubling update on the fire, the Kingston fire on Conception Bay North, where the Premier is saying, very preliminary, of course, because it's hard to map exactly because it's still such an active fire, how many homes and structures may be lost, but saying upwards of 100 may have been lost due to this wildfire as thousands of people have been forced from their homes in Conception Bay North. And also, to really put this year in perspective, the Premier also putting out this number saying so far there have been 214 fires this year compared to 97 in all of last year, and we still have many weeks to go in the wildfire season. So the Paddy's Pond fire, which has been the closest to the St. John's metropolitan area of all the major wildfires of concern, not much growth overnight in that one, just over 300 hectares, and winds are favorable today, meaning it could push the fire into Paddy's Pond. There have been no structural loss with that fire, but it is still burning out of control. The Kingston fire, the one we talked about in Conception Bay North, is now more than 80 square kilometers. It has grown on the western edge, inland, away from the coast, and ground crews, though, have made significant headway securing the southern edge, which has been a huge help, according to the Premier, in slowing down the fire, but has continued to grow significantly. And as you heard from the Premier, upwards of 100 homes may have been lost, so that number could be much more than that. Now, going all the way to the other side of the country, Marcia, we're also tracking a state of emergency declared in the Vancouver Island city of Port Alberni, along with a local First Nation nearby because of a fast-moving fire that has grown significantly since it flared up. That is the Mount Underwood fire, now more than 21 square kilometers. It is being fueled by heat and strong winds. And according to officials out there, they're in the midst of a severe drought, and the Vancouver Island has seen very little rain since the end of June. So that is making conditions extremely favorable for significant fire growth, Marcia.
Okay, talk to us, Scott, about resources. We can imagine that they are stretched thin. What's the latest? Are we getting help from outside of Canada?
Canada is getting help from other places outside the country. Provinces are getting help from other provinces and also from the military. More than 700 wildfires are burning across the country. More than 150 are considered out of control right now. So you can, just looking at those numbers, see exactly why resources and firefighting crews have been stretched incredibly thin. And according to the Canadian Interagency Forest Fire Centre, basically every resource is being used, whether it's aircraft or equipment or firefighters themselves, and officials in Newfoundland and Labrador, as I mentioned, are getting help from other provinces and the military, but looking even further to get equipment and resources they need, even bringing in privately owned aircraft, some from the United States, to help with their ongoing firefighting effort, Marcia.
Scott Hurst for us. Scott, thank you for that update.